I wanted to invest and I knew that I should, but I was scared. What if I lost all the money? Or what if I needed it, but I couldn't get to it? That fear kept me holding on to cash and pushed financial freedom further and further away because my money wasn't growing and inflation was chipping away at its value every year. And as Black women, we're already behind financially. So hoarding cash just keeps us stuck in survival mode instead of building wealth. And I didn't want to work forever. So today we're going to talk about how I finally overcame the fear of investing. And hopefully there is something in my story that will help you too. But first, let me introduce myself. My name is Celeste, and on this channel, I help mid-career professional Black women build a life of freedom. So if that sounds good to you, please subscribe to my channel. What finally helped me start investing was something I heard on a podcast called The Investing Tutor. Reading from my notes. A rainy day fund gives you peace of mind to invest aggressively. And that line really stuck with me because I realized that the reason I didn't feel comfortable investing is because I hadn't saved enough to give me that peace of mind. So I built up my emergency fund to cover a few more months worth of expenses so that I could feel more comfortable investing. Then I came across another idea that was a game changer for me, and that is not all your money needs to be instantly available. You can set up your savings in layers, starting with the money that you need first and then working your way down. If you've ever heard of CD ladders, it's based on the same concept. So it sounds really simple, but I had never really thought about how my money would be spent in case of an emergency. If you think about it, most emergencies cost a few $1,000s at most. And if I got laid off and had a 6-month emergency fund, I wouldn't need all 6 months at once. I would just need a month at a time while I figured out my next move. Once I understood that I didn't need all of my money to be available right away, that I just needed to know which part I'd use first and how I could get to the rest of it when I needed it, I realized that it was okay to start risking some of it. And that shift is what gave me the confidence to start investing. So I want to hear from you guys on this. What has been your biggest mental block when it comes to investing? Drop a comment and let me know. So what does this look like in practice? First, I have a high yield savings account with a 12-month emergency fund in cash. That's the money that I can get to the fastest and the most easily. And it covers everything from a layoff to a sabbatical or time off between contracts in my case. Next, I have a brokerage account and that money is invested. So if I needed it, I would have to sell investments, but I can always put that money back in later. There's no penalties. There's no cap on how much you can put in. That account is mine to do whatever I want with. I also have an HSA, which is a health savings account. And that is something that you get if you elect a high deductible plan. And so in addition to paying for medical expenses if they come up, I can use that fund to pay my healthcare premiums when I'm not working. So there are rules that allow you to pay for your premiums if you're on COBRA, which I am, or if you are collecting unemployment. Most of that money is also invested. So that means I would have to sell to be able to get to it. But since you can only put in a limited amount each year, this is something I would only pull from if I absolutely had to. And finally, there's my Roth IRA, which is a type of individual retirement account. There's a rule that 5 years after you put your first contribution into it, you can pull all of your contributions out penalty free at any age. And I don't have to pay taxes on it because I've already been taxed on the money that I put in. But just like the HSA, there is a set amount that I can put into that account every year. And once you pull it out, you can't put it back in. I can put in new money, but I can never go back and replenish that money that I pulled out. So for that reason, this is the last resort. Coffee break. So this system that I set up gave me options and eventually I had to use them. So a couple of years ago, I was part of a mass layoff and my unemployment claim got denied. pending a hearing. It turned out it was due to a clerical error, whatever. And because my industry was flooded with all of these candidates who had been laid off, it was really difficult to find a job. I didn't work for 6 months. My hearing didn't happen until 7 months later when I was already back at work. 7 months later. But despite all of that, I was able to pay my bills and travel and live stress free because of that staggered system that I put in place. I only needed the first layer, the cash cushion, but knowing that I also had the brokerage and the HSA and the Roth IRA to fall back on made all the difference. That's when I realized that I hadn't just built security, I built freedom. So if you've been scared to invest, you're not alone. What helped me wasn't a shortcut or a secret. It was building a system that gave me peace of mind. You don't need all of your money to be available right now. You just need to know which part you need first. So I hope hearing some of my story was helpful to you. If this video helped clarify anything for you, please click the like button. And don't forget to share this video with the Black woman you know who is seeking more freedom in her life.